Okay, so welcome everybody to kind of a different video actually. Today we're looking at my practice on F1 2020, the game, for a weekly event. You can see that it's the Ferrari F2004 and it's around Belgium, which is a track which I do love, don't get me wrong, but it's not the easiest track to go around in, especially not in these old cars which are really sensitive on the throttle and the brake. You can lock up very easily. And as you can see right there, this was my first ever lap in this car around Belgium, and I invalidated it. So I'm gonna take you through how I got better, how I improved, show you my best lap, and yeah, just talk you through my mentality and how do I prepare for these events. So this, as I said, this was my very first lap around the circuit, and so far it wasn't going that bad. I mean, I invalidated the lap and you can see I'm not even hitting all the apexes. I'm not hitting any apexes. But it's not the worst lap. Now we're coming to the end of the lap, and I really did enjoy the second sector. I enjoy it in every car actually, but in this car it was just so... I was using a custom setup. I found some from the on the F1 game on the leaderboard thingy, and yeah, now you're gonna see some failed attempts because there was a lot. So I was using a custom setup because I wasn't gonna do this with a default, because a default setup is really bad. As you can see, I was losing it in a lot of weird places. Like you don't usually lose it through there, through the long sweeping left. Now we're moving on to my good laps. As you could see, I improved by a second on the last lap, and it was a 45.5, I believe. Now we're improving by 2 tenths, so it's a 45.4 now. This section, I really, from the beginning, I didn't get it right most of the time, but at the end, I got the hang of it. And also this turn, it's so easy to look up, going down here, and you clip this curb, exactly. And that was a good lap. I was 2 times up on my time, and yeah, it just ruined it there. Now we're moving to one of the faster laps I did. So this was an improvement by 5 tenths also. As Jeff said, now we've moved to the 44s. So, and by the way, this isn't like a lap by lap. You could see that this is my 10th lap already. So going to Eau Rouge, clip the apex, yes, apex, nicely, staying nice to the inside now, opening it up to the left, get ready for the braking zone. As you can see that I was using the racing line, but only for the corners, because I really can't spot the corners. Well, I could, but I would be much slower, so that's the only assist I'm using. Going down here, I was braking a lot earlier, just so I could lose the momentum and so I wouldn't lock up. If you get this corner wrong, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, because if you clip that curb wrong, it can send you to the wall, or it can just invalidate your lap. This part of the section, this part of the track I mean, as you can see, I wasn't really pushing it. I was so afraid of the curbs, because I'm just used to, if I clip a curb, the car is gonna get sent into outer space. So I was staying away as much as I possibly could from the curbs, for now at least. And I'm half a second up on my time, so we're about to go into the 44.4s, or 5s maybe. Yeah, I lost a lot of time through the last chicane. But yeah, for the practice, that was the best I could have done. So it was a 44.5, I believe. Now we're moving on to the weekly event itself. You could see my assist there, and the only thing I had on, as I said, was the racing line. And AI was on 95. I could have probably gone with a higher AI level, but I just wanted to play it safe. Now this was still the practice session in the weekly event, so this was the qualifying one. I did all the rest, well, not all the rest, but most of the other sims. Well, I did all of them, but at this point I didn't do all of them. I just usually do what I like, and the things I hate I do last, which is like tire thingies and fuel. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean. So this I felt was really easy. You could see that the target lap time was 49.3, I believe that is. It's really small on my monitor. And I was doing a 44.5, so I wasn't like afraid that I wouldn't do this, but I still wanted to do my best, because obviously this is a practice for the race. I was running up to some back markers, but now you can see that I am clipping the curbs nicely, and then I'm being more aggressive on the throttle as well. I'm running up to this guy, I swing to the inside, well, not swing. He compromised my line a bit, I looked up a tiny bit, but it was fine, staying away from the curb as always. This one was very good. I lose it a little bit out of the corner, but it didn't compromise my lap that much. And now to the straight, which isn't actually a straight, but you know what I mean. And I'm 3.8 seconds up on my time. Going into the last chicane, and yeah, I cocked it. And you could see by my face, I was absolutely heartbroken. It was a good lap, and I just threw it away because that's what I said about the curbs. Like, you get it just a tiny bit wrong, and it sends you flying, and you don't want to be doing that. So now, onto the next lap, because I wasn't gonna just give up. Obviously I wasn't. We have 3 minutes left in the session, so I thought like, hey, it's all or nothing. And this was still, I believe, the first practice session? Yeah. And so I could practice a lot more, but I just wanted to do it right now, so I have the most time as I could. There, I was pushing it now. You can really see that I am just going up on the curbs right here as well, keeping in the third gear, through here fourth, nearly running onto the green grass there, or the fake grass. Being aggressive on the throttle through here, clipping the curb on the outside, which is, and there also, which is sometimes not the brightest idea, but through here it was fine. Now I'm starting to clip the inside curbs, and you can still see that I'm losing the car out of some corners, because I was comfortable with it, I could put in a great lap, but sometimes I still did lose the car. And that's why you need to practice a lot. But now, as we're finishing the lap, I ran up to a guy, but thankfully he was too far away. Well, not too far away, but he was far away, so I could finish my lap without being compromised. And I crossed the line, and it's a 44.6, I believe. So that was nearly my best lap I've ever done. But now we're onto the qualifying, and these are 2 laps after each other. My programming software didn't like it, I guess, because it just got laggy. But clipping the curb nicely. The third gear was really good for this corner. So going into 6th, hard on the brakes, going into 2nd for extra rotation, clipping the curb, going into 3rd on the power as early as you can, and just push your pedal as much to the ground as you can, going through Eau Rouge. Still no lifting, and onto the straight, and still you don't, through the first sector you have one braking line, a braking zone, and that's it. Now hard on the brakes, go into third up to fourth again, clipping the curb on the inside. Now going into the grass a little bit, on the curb on the outside, into fifth, into sixth. Down on the brakes you have to be really careful. Now you go into fourths for the, so you don't spin your tires. Into fourth, clipping the outside curb very nicely. Into sixth, into seventh, down into sixth again. Aggressive on the throttle as much as you can. Now hard, we wanna clip the inside curb. Now you wanna clip this inside curb, which I didn't do, but it's fine. Now you go into third, fourth, so you can put your foot down as early as you can. Fifth, sixth, clip the outside curb, and you just pedal to the middle. Now we are running again on some back markers, and at this point I knew I had to overtake him, but there just wasn't enough space, so I slowed behind him, hoping for the best, so I have the best traction. I get on the power really nicely and early, and it's a 44.8. We were compromised a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Now we are moving on to my fastest lap. So again, I get this corner a little bit wrong, but that doesn't matter that much. Into third, you can see that I messed up my really good lap, but it didn't matter because, yeah, I was thinking to myself like, this is all or nothing. And yeah, again, you go as hard as you can through this. Clip the curbs. You can go a little bit to the inside there and it still won't invalidate your lap. I'm half a tenth up on my time, which is good. Now, hard on the brakes, into third, up to fourth again, clipping the inside. Now clipping this corner is really important. I get it right, into fifth, into sixth, down to third. I go a little bit wide, but it doesn't matter, up to fourth, so I have extra rotation. Fourth, now as I was really pushing it, I went onto the green thing there, which you don't really want to be doing, into sixth, as hard on the throttle as you can. I'm half a second up on my time. Now really hard on the brakes, into third, into fourth, clipping the inside, clipping the outside. Now into third again, fourth, so you can go on the power as early as you can, fifth, sixth, and your lap is basically done. I'm up 7 tenths. Now I have only one braking zone left. If I get this right, it's a brilliant lap. I went purple twice. So now, all or nothing. Hard on the brakes, into second, get this corner into third so you don't spin. I get it really nicely. I'm 8.5 tenths up, and it's a 43.9. As you can see by my face and by my expression, I was really happy with this result. And now coming on to, I was checking how well I did, and at first I didn't notice it, but yes, now I did. I was second in the whole thing, in the qualifying, which so far only 47 people have done, but it's still mind-blowing that I'm the second guy in all world. And by the time of recording this, I did drop to fifth already, but 100 people already finished, so yeah, I'm gonna drop a bit more, but I still think it was a great result. But yeah, anyways, if you like this type of video, just let me know. I can make more, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one, I guess.